Hey guys, it's Neek and I'm here to talk business with y'all. So if you are new to my channel, thank you for joining. Please don't forget to subscribe on your way out. And if you have seen my videos before, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So as you guys can see from the title, this video will pretty much be about things that I have been learning since starting a hair business or business in general. I think a lot of these tips can translate to any business owner or any startup business. So basically, just to give some background for anyone that is new here, I do own a wig making business, Crown by Neek. So right now I do sell glueless closure wigs, and I'm also adding hair to my collection. I'm in the process of that now. I don't currently sell hair yet. But basically, once I decided to start selling hair or adding hair to my collection, that's when I kind of started to take on like officially legitimizing my business. And yeah, it has been a journey. It definitely, like, this is definitely a business journey. I've learned a lot in a little bit of time, because I just started this whole journey. I'm still at the beginning. So yeah, I've been learning a lot, and I am documenting this journey. So I thought, why not share with y'all what I have been learning along the way? If you want to see, what I've been learning, if you want some, I guess, tips that I could offer based on the experiences that I've had or the experiences that I'm having, keep watching. So before I forget, this wig is actually from my Crown by Neek collection. I did make this wig. All my wigs are completely 100% hand sewn, and they're also 100% glueless. I do not have any glue or anything like that used to hold this down. So I constructed this wig, dyed it, and styled it. So, shameless plug. But yeah, so I wanted to make sure I did that before I forget. But anyway, now on to the actual things that I'm learning. So I will be looking down periodically, because I wrote all my notes in a notebook. It's all in my phone, but I'm using that to record right now, so I couldn't do that. Okay, so the first thing that I have learned while trying to start my business is you must record everything. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys, I have never been the type of person to, I guess, document my life. Like, I don't take pictures often. I don't take videos often. I'm the type that, like, if I go on trips or, do fun things with like my friends and all that stuff, I never document it. I'm not the person who's posting on Instagram stories all the stuff that I'm doing. I was really bad with like Snapchat. As far as Instagram goes, I don't post that often. Like, I'm kind of more of a in the moment person. Like, yeah. So starting this business, and, like, for the most part, my business is through social media. My main business page is the Instagram, Crown by Neek, Instagram. And I don't have a website yet because I'm working on that. But in the meantime, while I don't have my website, and even when I do get my website, like, I'm still gonna need social media to propel my business, to market stuff, to, like, engage and grow my audience. And the same thing with YouTube. Like, even with vlogging, I'm trying now to record things as I go along, so that you guys can see my experiences, and so that you guys know, like, what goes on and stuff like that. But yeah, it's hard. And, like, I'm starting to realize with content, which I'll get to that too, but basically, like, you need to record everything, because you need to always have content, and you won't have content if you're not, showing what's going on or what you're doing. So yeah, record everything. So the next thing is you must be consistent on all platforms. this is another reason why recording everything is key, because you've got to have content. Like, you've got to have things to post on all your different platforms. Right now I have Instagram, Facebook, now YouTube, which this is new for me too. So that I'm going to be making a Twitter very soon, like in the next couple days. But I've never actually like been in the Twitter community. But I know how Twitter can get, so I'm a little bit scared. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a little bit scared. But I will join the Twitter community. I know that is one of the things that I'll need to propel my business, to get myself out there, to give myself some exposure and stuff like that. So yeah, but basically, like, on all the platforms that you're on, you have to be consistent. So I am the most consistent on my Instagram. After Instagram is probably Facebook. So I don't go on Facebook that much. But with having this business, I'm starting to realize that, there's people that I have on Facebook that I don't have on Instagram. So I also have to post to Facebook so that people can see, the services I offer, the different type of wigs that I do and stuff like that. And the same thing with YouTube. Like, all of your followers may not necessarily be following you on the same, on all the different platforms. So you have to make sure that you're posting on all the platforms so that you're reaching the most amount of people. I'm realizing that, I have to consider that, as far as like, I can't just post and be consistent to Instagram. I have to also be consistent with Facebook and YouTube and soon to be Twitter. So that is very important. The next thing that I've learned, this is a huge one, y'all. So content. And I've mentioned this on a previous video. Content is a much, much harder concept than I ever anticipated. Well, no, I kind of knew that I would struggle with content, but I didn't think it would be as bad as it has been. I'm the type that will like stuff. Like, I'll scroll and support other people. But as far as me posting, I never really did it. So now, realizing that I have to post things now too, it made me kind of think well, shoot, where the heck everybody be getting stuff from? My main thing was, how do I find things? How do I find things to post? I know different people, brands, whatever, will just be posting random stuff. It doesn't even have to be about their brands or about them. They'll have these random quotes, these random pictures and stuff like that. And I'm just first of all, where do they get them from? Second of all, if I start using other people's stuff, then I can't copy people. Isn't that not ethically correct? And then could they, I don't know, copyright my page or something? I don't know how this whole content thing goes. So I'd started to realize that I can share things, not screenshot, but literally, if I see somebody's posted something and I'm oh, that's cute, I want to put that as my story, I can share it so that they basically get the credit for that post. So it's not I'm copying their stuff or taking it from them or whatever. So it's kind of another way to support whatever page that I got the idea or the post from. So it's taken me a long time, but I've learned that. And then there's also having content that is specifically for your business or for your brand or whatever, that you can't just copy and repost from other people. You have to, if you're trying to market your business, you have to have content that is created and originally from your business. So, and that's another way that recording everything is key. That basically, it all ties back into the fact that you should record everything, because all these recordings and all these picture and video documenting that you'll do, it becomes your content. It translates into your content, and it makes your life a lot easier when you're trying to figure out what to post, what content to have. And one of the most important things too is to have enough content to be able to post consistently, which I'll get to that too. But what was the last thing that I was gonna say with that? Oh, one of the ways that you can do it too. So as you record everything, save them in a way that organizes them. So basically, like, keep yourself organized. That's another main point too. I don't even think that's in here, but one of the things I'm learning too is to keep yourself organized, because it kind of makes things easier. There's so many different content planners that you can do. And then you can, as you record things and save them, whether it's in your phone or your laptop, your hard drive, whatever, you can save them in batches. That's like, I have an album, for example, that's called IG Post. So if I'm recording something that could potentially be an Instagram post, or take pictures of something that could potentially be an Instagram post, I save it in that album. And that way, when I'm ready to post content, I just go through that album and not have to go through all the pictures and videos in my phone. So, to give an idea, but if you are struggling with content, I feel your pain. As an introvert, I feel your pain. I definitely feel your pain. Because another thing about it too, it's so uncomfortable. Like, I don't even know. I won't get into it, but it's uncomfortable. It kind of feels like posting so much. Well, it is. It's putting yourself out there. And as an introvert, that is a weird feeling. So it is uncomfortable, but you just have to push through it. You have to think about your business, and that will essentially be what propels your business. So content. And one more point that I want to make about content, or having content. Basically, what I've also learned is you can't just throw random stuff out there just to say that you're putting out content. Your content has to be related to your business. It has to be focused on your business. It has to have some kind of, basically, like, it has to draw people to your business. It's not supposed to just be something where it's like, oh, cool, and then keep scrolling. Like, it should be things that will make people go to your page or go to your website and, start to look things up and potentially buy stuff. So what I have learned through YouTube and other things that I've researched is that your content should either be educational or entertaining. You should always, for the most part, you should always be teaching people something about your product or your services that you offer. You want to you kind of want to educate people on what you can offer them. And if not that, then it should be entertaining. So something like basically using your product in a way to entertain. And yeah, it might not be teaching them anything, but it still might bring them to your page and hopefully lead them to becoming a customer. So yeah. So the next thing that I have learned is that you must support and engage with other people. So this is hard for me too, because I'm an introvert and I don't post much. I don't really interact much with, like with other people, both in real life and on Instagram. Call me weird, whatever. But so having to kind of come out of my comfort zone to reach out to people that I don't know, reach out to people that I don't really talk to and stuff like that. Like it's different for me. So, but I do realize that it is very, very necessary in order to build customers, in order to build engagement. Along with that, when it comes to Instagram, YouTube, possibly Facebook, I don't know, I'm just going to assume that all of these social media sites have an algorithm, but basically engaging with other people helps you to get on the algorithm. So if you don't know, the algorithm is basically like this very complicated system that Instagram and other social media sites use to pretty much like put things on your explore page that you might be interested in based off of things that you have liked or interacted with. And the same vice versa, like to put things on other people's explore page to add people to like suggested followings and stuff like that. It determines like if you comment on somebody's page who has like hundreds or thousands of comments, like where you fall in that and stuff like that. So yeah, the algorithm basically, Instagram basically uses the algorithm to put people in different places depending on other people's interests, depending on your interests. So Instagram kind of uses the algorithm to determine who pops up on people's explore pages based off of what they're liking and commenting on, based off of who they're following and stuff like that. The algorithm is basically for them to pair people with what they're interested in. That's a very, very loose and rough definition, so don't quote me. But basically, you want to be on the algorithm in order to pop up in people's feeds. That's the only way that they're going to know who you are, or even like just see your page to be able to go on your page and, find more information and stuff like that. So the only way to get on the algorithm is to engage and interact with other people. It's really important to engage with your target audience. It's really important to engage with other influencers or businesses that are in your niche. So that way your target audience, like your customers and stuff like that, can see your page more often, and your page will pop up on their suggested feeds and things like that. And also building relationships with other influencers, other just people in general, to where you could potentially like they can possibly like share things for you. They can possibly, like call other people over to your page. So that's important. And then of course, reciprocation. Like you can't expect for people to support you and things like that if you're not supporting other people. So that's kind of one of the main things for me. Like, I just always kind of think of it as what's the saying? What is the saying? Like, you put in what you want to get out. So even with like small business purchases and stuff like that, like I'm very cheap, but sometimes like I'll talk myself into spending more than what I would normally for a small business, because I want that energy to be reciprocated back to me, whether it's from that same person or just in general. Like, I feel like that's kind of how it works. It's kind of like good karma. I don't know why I didn't just say that in the first place. But you want to build good karma for yourself. Like, give support to get support. So if you're super introverted, just look at it that way. Like, you have to put in what you put out, you know what I'm trying to say. You have to generate good karma for yourself. So going off of that, I don't even know what tip we're on anymore. But going off of supporting and engaging with other people, the next thing that I have been learning is finding time to engage. So it's very important to engage with your audience, but you want to be careful with this one, because Instagram, or not even just Instagram, TikTok too, duh. You need to be consistent on TikTok too. Anyway, sorry. Besides the point. So with all these social media platforms, it's very easy to get sucked in to scrolling and basically wasting time. And you don't want to do that, because time is money. The time that you're aimlessly scrolling on Instagram, you could be, in my case, I could be making a wig. I could be styling a wig. I could be recording content. I could be planning out my next week or next month or whatever. I can be doing other stuff, even outside of having my business. Like, I could be doing homework to get that done early so that I can work on the business stuff. I could be working on my website. Like, there's so much things that you could be doing in your free time. So you have to be careful, because you don't want to waste a lot of time scrolling through Instagram when you originally just got on there to engage with a couple pages. So you also, it's a caveat, because you also need to make sure that you are on social media, on the different platforms, engaging with people, because that engagement could lead them to becoming a customer, which is money. So you just have to be careful with how you use your time, basically. Time management is key. You will need to definitely practice time management in order to optimize your time. So a suggestion that I wrote down was setting aside specific time for social media, if need be. Like, you go on there in this designated hour, you scroll through, like, comment, save. I heard that saving is a big way to get on the algorithm these days too. Share things, and then once that time is done, then you put down social media and focus on what's important, and get back and do the same thing the next day or later that day or whatever. But yeah, you just have to be really careful. You do want to engage, but you don't want to get sucked into the social media scrolling. So that is definitely another thing. I might have to break this video up in 2 parts, because it has gotten very long, but I really want you guys to know, like, in detail, the things that I have been learning and going through. So